1800 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Prime Minister, during his visit to the flood-affected areas of Balochistan today, expressed the government's firm commitment to the rehabilitation of the flood victims across the country. Shahbaz Sharif has urged the United Nations, UNICEF and other global agencies to support Pakistan as the climate-induced calamities have adversely affected the children in the country. The Minister for Poverty Alleviation says the Benazir Income Support Program, in collaboration with the World Food Program, will cover the pregnant mothers and children in the flood-affected areas under its Nashonoma program. Japan and China have expressed their commitment to provide more support for the relief, recovery and rehabilitation efforts of Pakistan under the motto Build Back Better. The Hurriyat organizations denouncing the custodial killing of a mentally challenged resident have urged the world to hold India accountable for its grave human rights violations and war crimes in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. In the Super 4 phase of the Asia Cup Cricket Tournament 2022, Pakistan will take on India at Dubai today. And now the news in detail. The Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif has said the government will leave no stone unturned in the rehabilitation of flood-affected people of the country. He was talking to the media in Bolan area of Balochistan after visiting flood-hit Bibi Nani Bridge today. He appreciated the Pakistan Army, the Frontier Corps, Balochistan and district administrations for successfully rescuing 6,000 people who were stranded on both sides of this bridge. The Prime Minister said due to efforts of the vigilant labourers, the supply of natural gas to Quetta, Pashin, Ziarat, Kalat and other areas would be restored today. He announced an honorarium of 3 million rupees for labourers who worked for the restoration of the gas pipeline. The Prime Minister also reviewed the work on rehabilitation of the flood-affected roads and railways infrastructure in the area. The Chairman National Highways Authority, Khurram Agha, gave a detailed briefing to the Prime Minister during an aerial view of the damaged railway bridge at Bibi Nani and the restoration work on Pinjra Bridge, which was completely swept away by the floods. The Prime Minister appreciated the dedication of the workers and announced 5 million rupees for the labourers working on restoration of the destroyed bridges. The Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif has urged the United Nations, UNICEF and other global agencies to support Pakistan as the climate-induced calamities have adversely affected the country's children. In a tweet, the Prime Minister said over 400 children died in the recent floods, which make up one-third of the overall death toll. He expressed regret that the children are exposed to a greater risk of waterborne diseases. He said, as Pakistan battles one of the worst climate-induced calamities, among the most adversely affected are the children. Under the directives of the Prime Minister, Shahbaz Sharif, rehabilitation work on a number of flood-damaged highways and roads has been completed, while restoration work on the remaining sections is continuing on emergency basis. According to the Prime Minister's office, National Highway N15 has been reopened for traffic from Mansehra to Chilas via Naran. Karachi to Chaman National Highway N25, which was affected by the floods from Hub to Khusdar, has also been restored. The restoration work on certain highways is still continuing, which include N50 Yob Dera Ismail Khan section, N95 Fatehpur Kalam section, and motorway M8 Wangu Hills Banja section. The Prime Minister is personally monitoring the rehabilitation work, and a daily report is being submitted to him. The Minister for Poverty Alleviation and Social Safety, Shazia Murray, has said the Benazir Income Support Program, in collaboration with the World Food Program, has decided to cover the flood-affected pregnant mothers and children under the Benazir Nashonoma program. Talking to APP, she said for this purpose an additional amount of 1 billion rupees would be allocated for the flood-affected mothers and children apart from the existing beneficiaries. She said around 33 million have been displaced at the national level as a result of the recent floods, which is a big number. Shazia Murray urged the international community and the philanthropists to stand with the flood victims and extend support. This is Radio Pakistan. Japan has handed over emergency relief goods comprising tents and plastic sheets to the National Disaster Management Authority at the Jinnah International Airport in Karachi. The chief representative of Japan International Cooperation Agency, Pakistan office, Kinoshita Yusumtsu, and Consul General of Japan in Karachi, Odagiri Toshio, were present on the occasion. Talking to the Associated Press of Pakistan, Odagiri said Japan is deeply saddened by the widespread damage in Pakistan caused by the unprecedented flooding and expressed the hope that these goods would help the victims. He said Japan would continue to work closely with Pakistan, and the Japanese Embassy and the Japan International Cooperation Agency would cooperate with each other to respond to the situation. The Consul General said Japan International Cooperation Agency is committed to support relief, recovery and rehabilitation efforts of Pakistan with the motto Build Back Better. Representative of the National Disaster Management Authority, Mohammad Muazzam Zaman, thanked Japan's assistance for the flood-affected people. China has announced to provide another 300 million yuan of relief supplies to Pakistan for the flood victims. The announcement was made by the director of the China International Development Cooperation Agency, Luo Xiaohui, during a meeting with the chairman of the National Disaster Management Authority, Lieutenant General Akhtar Nawaz, via video link. Luo Xiaohui requested the Pakistan side to provide a list of urgently needed supplies and determine the mode of transportation so that the Chinese assistance can reach the flood victims as soon as possible. The chairman of the National Disaster Management Authority thanked the Chinese leadership and the people for their assistance. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the All Parties Hurriyat Conference has denounced the custodial killing of a mentally challenged resident of Azad Jammu and Kashmir, Tabarak Hussain, by the Indian Army in the territory. Tabarak Hussain was shot at and arrested in injured condition by the Indian troops after he unintentionally crossed the line of control in Naushera area of Rajouri district in the month of August. The All Parties Hurriyat Conference spokesman, in a statement issued in Srinagar, said beating and killing of innocent Kashmiris have become the norm in the occupied territory. He urged the world community, particularly the United Nations, to hold India accountable for grave human rights violations and war crimes being perpetrated by its troops in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has warned Greece over airspace violations. He said Greece will pay a heavy price if it continues to harass Turkish fighter jets over the Aegean region. 12 more ships carrying grain have departed from the Ukrainian ports under the landmark Istanbul grain export deal. The Turkish Defense Ministry, in a statement, said the grain shipment from the Ukrainian ports continues under the control of the Joint Coordination Center in Istanbul. In Zambia, nearly 24 people have died of measles outbreak, according to Turkiye media. Hundreds of measles cases were reported in different areas of Zambia in August. The President, Dr. Arif Alvi, has felicitated Fida Hossain Baloch on winning a gold medal in the Asian Bodybuilding Championship in Kyrgyzstan, according to the President's Secretariat press wing. The President also congratulated him on achieving a lead pro card in the event. The President observed that passion and struggle were the keys to success in any field and expressed his joy over the success of Pakistani players and athletes for bringing laurels to the country. 10 Pakistani bodybuilders have been competing in the Asian Bodybuilding Championship in 14 different categories. Cricket. In the second match of the Super 4 phase of the Asia Cup Cricket Tournament 2022, Pakistan will take on India at Dubai today. The match will start at 1900 hours Pakistan Standard Time. And finally, the weather. Rain, wind, thunder showers with isolated heavy falls are expected in Kashmir, Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Upper Punjab and Gilgit-Baltistan during the next 12 hours. However, hot and humid weather is likely to prevail elsewhere in the country. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News.